Hey guys, thanks for joining. I gotta be honest with you, I'm totally not prepared. This is my first and only speaking engagement, probably a decade. I haven't spoken in front of a crowd in I don't know how long. I used to own a digital marketing and tech company, and I used to fly to conferences and so on. I'm really rusty, so you'll have to kind of forgive me. I think probably a good starting point for me to, for you guys to get to know who I really am is probably to start off how I started and how I came to the country. So my family and I came to Canada. I was only 5 years old. We were refugees. We left El Salvador. For those who don't know what El Salvador was like in the 1980s, brutal wars. Just awful things that my parents and my family have seen. A lot of family members that we've lost. It was really a lawless country. It was a complete disaster. And so we moved from El Salvador. We had family in Los Angeles. We stayed there for a little bit. And when I say Los Angeles, I'm not talking about Beverly Hills. It was East LA. And I still remember how kind, and this is going to sound odd, how kind the drug dealers were to open the door for my mom when she would walk us to school. And so we grew up in really rough neighborhoods. We then moved to New York. We were there for probably maybe 4 or 5 months. It's the first time I've ever experienced that kind of cold. And that's the only memory I have, because when you're growing up in basically in the equator, that's all you're used to. We came to Canada. I was 5 years old. I still remember my first home here was actually a shelter home. And the shelter home that we had, you can think of it as a warehouse, like what you would see in a movie theater where they're evacuating, it's kind of the end of the world kind of thing, and you have 50 beds in a massive warehouse. That's where we slept in it. My younger brother at the time was just learning how to walk. And so the game that we would play is who would kill the most cockroaches. And that's what we would do in there. And so we were kind of doing the job of the exterminators. But my parents at that time, they just accepted whatever work was there. Janitorial, cleaning hotel rooms. My mom would come home crying almost every single day because she used to clean up after hotels. That's one of the reasons I actually tip very well when we go to hotels, because some of the things they see, it's not a very pleasant job. And some of the things that she would come home crying to kind of tell my dad, I still remember the stories. We got our start, oddly enough, it wasn't because of government handouts. My parents actually got their start from a church. And I don't know if you know this, but part of what the government is currently tabling right now is they want to be able to remove a lot of these exemptions and charitable statuses that churches have. It's a huge deal. There's been a study done, it's called the Halo Effect. And the Halo Effect looks at the net positive differences, whether it's to the economy or to people, of what churches can do. And I'm not talking about just Christian, just Muslim. Literally just think of charitable organizations as a whole, regardless of religion. They have massive impacts in our society, and they're looking at taking that away. And the study basically showed when you do that, you actually have a net negative that happens. You have a lot less benefits, and you have to keep in mind, these churches are also operating because of the donations of our after-tax dollars, which is an insane thing to take away. And so, and I digress, but that's how my parents got started. I'm gonna fast forward a bit. When growing up in grade school, and this is kind of, I guess, an important part that shaped who I am. We grew up very poor. Like, I grew up in an apartment building. A lot of the folks were either on welfare, they were newly immigrated like myself. It was a building of just a wide variety of people, but we were never unhappy. Like, I had an awesome childhood. I'm not going to say it was horrible or anything like that. We didn't know any better. Like, this is all we knew. We had so much fun because I had my brothers with me, I had friends with me, I made so many friends from various different backgrounds. English is my second language. And so when I used to go to school, I didn't know how to ask where the washroom was. And so I would hold it in all day. And as a 6-year-old, I would run and sprint home. And me and my brother, we would be banging on the door. And as soon as my mom opened the door, we would just pee our pants. It happened every day for 2 weeks. My parents didn't know how to speak English either, until finally my dad kind of figured out. They went to school and they said, hey, where's the washroom? And then that's how we learned to basically where the washroom was at school.